Hello everyone, thank you for joining me for yoga today. We're going to be doing a full body workout. So just a few things to talk about before we get started. Breathing is the first thing. So in yoga, we breathe through the nose. So inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. Okay, so that's how we'll do it the whole time, unless I say, let's take a breath out through the mouth. So when we take our inhale, we breathe diaphragmatically. So what that means is we send the breath down into the belly. So the belly will rise as you take your inhale, and it will lower as you exhale. So rather than keeping our breathing up in the chest, we send it down into the belly. Okay, so throughout the session I will be giving some variations, so please feel free to find what's going to work for you. Don't push yourself too hard to do the most advanced option. Just really listen to your body, and yeah, that will be the best way to complete the session. So one other thing I quickly want to talk about before we start is the chaturanga. So I'll often say take your chaturanga, and I just want to show you what that means. There are a couple of options. So usually we're in plank when I say take your chaturanga. So the first option is to drop the knees down, lower the upper body all the way to the ground, roll the shoulders back, come up to a cobra. Then usually what we do is lower back down, push back to the knees, tuck the toes, and we'll end in our downward dog. So don't worry, you don't have to remember exactly, but it's just so that you know what I'm talking about when we come to it. So the other option is from plank, I say take your chaturanga, is that you'd bring the weight forward slightly, lower the body down, but we don't quite touch the mat. Then we come up to our up dog. From there, pushing back, and we would all meet in downward dog. So yeah, when we come to that, just taking your variations, but I will talk us through it. Okay, let's begin. So starting in a comfortable seat. If this is a little bit uncomfortable for you, or you feel like your legs are sort of curling up, feel free to grab a cushion or a blanket or something to sit on, just to lift the hips up slightly. Okay, turning the palms over, let's drop the shoulders down and close down the eyes. So let's start that breathing. Inhale through the nose, send it down to the belly, and exhale. Again, inhale and exhale. Once more, inhale and exhale, all air out. Keep the eyes closed. Let's bring the palms together into a prayer position and bring the hands to the heart. Keep those shoulders down, sitting nice and tall. Let's just take a quick moment here. Bring your awareness into the body. And just allow yourself these next 20 minutes to really be present, letting go of the day you've had so far or the day you're about to have. Okay, let's open the eyes. Rub the hands together, get a little bit of heat. And release. Take the heels of the hands and just place them onto the eyes. Deep breath here. Then exhale to release. Okay, we're going to dive forward onto all fours. Otherwise, feel free to just swing your legs around. So we're going to do our cat-cow, warming up the spine. So find your position first. Wrists are below shoulders, Knees are below hips. We are pulling up the front of the body. Press into all 10 fingers, press into the tops of the feet. Nice long neck. Okay, here we go. In breath, drop the belly and looking up, open through the chest. Exhale, pull the belly in, let the head come down. Inhale, open up, looking high. And exhale, really round through that spine, push into the mat. Inhale to open. Exhale to round. Let's do one more. Inhale. And exhale, really pull the belly in. And come back to your neutral spine. Okay, now we're going to lift our knees off. So make sure you're pushing into those hands and the tops of the feet. Inhale, lift the knees. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more. We're going to hold it a little bit longer. Inhale, hold it here. Breathe. One more breath. Exhale to lower. Okay, walk your hands forward just slightly. Now very slowly we're going to tuck the toes under and melt back into our downward dog. Take your time to peel yourself off the ground and back. Once you're there, let's walk it out, pushing one heel down at a time. Make sure you keep breathing. Check if you're holding your breath. And now pushing both heels down towards the mat. From here, let's start walking the hands back to the heels. All the way back, let the head come down, just allow it to be heavy. Relax the arms, slight bend in the knees. Alright, bend the knees. Start to roll up all the way. Roll the shoulders here, really pull them down and lift. Okay, time to balance. So we're going to do our tree pose. So we've got options here. First option is keeping the toes on the mat. Second option is here. Third option is here. So take your time to find what works for you. We're really trying to open up through this bent leg and rotate. We're also not wanting to sit down in this hip. We want to lift up nice and tall. Okay, once you're there, let's find our prayer position. Press those palms together. Drop the shoulders down. It can help to find an unmoving spot on the wall in front of you to fix your gaze on. Help you with your balance. Send that breath down to the belly. One final breath here. And release. Shake it out. Other side, take your time, find that position. Where do you want to be? What feels right for you today? Once you're there, lifting tall, opening up through the bent leg, hands to prayer position. Nice long neck. And breathe. Really press the inner thigh and the sole of the foot together. Really feel that resistance there, and same with the hands, pushing them together. 2 more breaths. And release. Shake it out. Okay, let's come to the top of the mat. Let's go feet hip width apart, standing tall to begin. Okay, in breath, bend the knees, reach the arms wide, and lengthen, stretch tall. Exhale, tilt from the hips. We're coming down into our forward fold. From here, inhale, you're going to take a halfway lift. So you might be here, you might be here, as long as you've got that nice long spine. Exhale, soften and bow. Inhale, bend the knees, reach the arms wide, roll up through the spine. And exhale, hands to prayer position. Let's do that again. In breath, reach. Exhale, tilt from the hips, coming forward. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen, long spine. Exhale, soften and bow. Inhale, reach the arms wide to come up. Exhale, prayer position. Once more, in breath, take the arms up. Exhale, coming forward and down. In breath, halfway lift. Exhale to release. From here, I want you to bring your feet together. Okay, inhale, take the arms back slightly. Exhale, drop the pelvis, lift the arms out in front, chair pose. Tuck the pelvis under, we're opening up through the chest. Bring the weight back onto the heels. Breathe. Squeeze the inner thighs together. 2 more breaths. Okay, in breath brings us up. Open up through the chest and exhale, come forward and down. Okay, from here let's plant the palms onto the mat. Step 1 foot back and then the other into our plank pose. So take your options here. We're here, or you can have your knees down. Okay, our first chaturanga. Here we go. So taking your options, either knees and then lowering the body, or we bring the weight forward, come down, and in breath, come up. Up dog, and exhale, lift the hips, send it back, downward dog. Okay, from here, we're moving into a 3-legged dog. So let's lift the left leg up and back. Keep the toes pointing down towards the mat. Keep the hips in line. Exhale, hug the knee into chest and then step the foot through the palms. Lower that back knee, untuck the toes, reach forward and up. Pressing forward into the hips, feel a nice stretch through the front of the thigh. In breath, we open the arms to come forward. Now let's bring the weight back, pull the toes back towards the face, let the head come forward. Runner's stretch. Rolling forward through the foot, plant the palms down, lift the back knee, step back to plank, find your chaturanga here. So either bringing the weight forward or knees down. Inhale to come up, either up dog or baby cobra. And exhale, let's meet in our downward dog. Press those fingers into the mat, press the heels down. Okay, the other leg, let's go. In breath, 3-legged dog. Toes are pointing down. Exhale, bring that knee through, hug it in, and step through the hands. Drop the back knee, untuck the toes, and reach. Shoulders are down. Keep pressing into the top of that back foot. In breath, open the arms wide. Now bringing the weight back, pull the toes back, really flex that foot. Keep pulling this hip back as well. Head releases down. In breath, we come forward. Plant the hands, tuck the toes, lift the knee, step it back to plank. Take your chaturanga, your own version. In breath to lower, out breath to come up. And when you're ready, let's meet in downward dog. Okay, three-legged dog once again. Let's go left leg. In breath to lift. Exhale, hug that knee in. Step through the hands. Now this time we're going to plant that back foot and roll up through the spine. Warrior one. So we don't want to lift this, let this hip come back. We're trying to pull the hip around so they're facing the front of the mat. Shoulders are down, bend that front knee. Breathing into the belly. From here, we're going to open the arms wide. Press into the outside edge of that back foot. Bend through the front knee. Look over the front fingers. Warrior two. Alright, let's move a little bit. In breath, straighten the leg, bring the arms up. Exhale to bend. Inhale, come up. Exhale to bend. Once more. Inhale and exhale. Hold it here a moment. From here, scoop the back arm under. Come to your high lunge, lift the back heel. Open up through the chest, arms go wide. Come down, plant the hands. Step back to plank and chaturanga. Take your version and we'll meet in downward dog. Deep breaths when you're here. And we'll go to the other side. Here we go. In breath, lift the right leg, three-legged dog. Exhale, hug the knee in and step through. Now take your time, plant that back foot, roll it up, warrior one. Bend that front leg. Okay, here we go. Starting to move from your core into our warrior two. You may need to readjust a little bit. Bending that front leg, press into the outside edge of that back foot. Shoulders are down. Pressing into all four corners of that front foot. Let's move. In breath, straighten. And exhale one. In breath. And exhale two. In breath. And exhale three. Hold it here. Now scoop that back arm down. Find your high lunge. Okay, open up through the chest. To come down, plant the hands. Step back to plank. Chaturanga, it's our last one. Make the most of it. And coming into downward dog. Lovely. Okay. Let's drop the knees here. Bring big toes to touch. Take the knees as wide as your yoga mat. And now sink your hips back. Reach your fingertips forward. Let the forehead come to the mat. This is our extended child's pose. So we'll hold here for a few breaths. Allow your chest to open and try to relax. Let's find 3 more breaths, sending the breath into the belly. When you're ready, walking the hands back, rolling up through the spine. Swing the legs around to one side and bring the legs out in front. Let's bend the knees a little bit to start. We're going to do our seated forward fold. So take an in breath, lift tall off the hips, reaching up. Exhale, reach forward and over. Let the head come down. Feel free to stay here, or if you want to start extending the legs out, you can do so. Get a nice stretch through the back of the legs. Don't forget to breathe and try to relax into the stretch. Two more breaths. When you're ready, inhale, begin to roll up through the spine. Take your time. Roll the shoulders. Okay, that's all we have time for today, but before we finish, we're just going to do a quick relaxation. So if you're cold, grab a blanket, a jumper, socks, anything you may need, and let's roll down onto our backs. This is our corpse pose. Legs out long, almost as wide as the yoga mat. Arms are long, palms are facing the ceiling. And close down the eyes. So I always like to finish class with relaxation. Slow the heart rate down a little bit. It just sets you up. Feeling good. To have a good day or good night's sleep. So just bring that awareness back into the body. Allow that breath to really reach down into the belly. And just notice where your body is connected with the floor, with your mat. And just allow it to get heavy, to sink down, becoming nice and relaxed. So that's where we finish today. If you do have any extra time, I do encourage you to stay here just for a few more minutes, taking your deep breaths. But let's bring our hands together in prayer position, and let's bring the thumbs up to the forehead, to the third eye, the space between the eyebrows. And let's just take a nice deep breath together to finish. Inhale, send the breath to the belly, and exhale. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you soon. Namaste.